welcome to this week's Ask Charlie. I'm sat here huddled up in a blanket because we've got a power cut and it is, well, it could be a lot more miserable. The sun is shining, it is a beautiful, beautiful, stunning day, but it's a bit grey and gloomy over there and it is a little bit cold. We had a wonderful frost this morning. It was such a beautiful morning. I had a long walk with the dogs, which if I'd known we were having a power cut all day, I probably wouldn't have done, but we didn't get the letter to say that there was no electricity till 3 o'clock. But anyway, enough of that. This episode, I think, is probably one of my most requested videos, and it's taken me a while to sit down and chat to you about it, and it's confidence. It's how I have got the confidence to do what I do and share things with you. It's taken quite a lot to get to the very, very timid, shy person that I was to sit here and record videos, podcast episodes, and have the confidence to do what I do. So let's get going. So we're going to backtrack way back to when I was at school. I am severely dyslexic, but it wasn't picked up on until I was about to sit my GCSEs. And I'm a July birthday, and actually I went down a year because I was struggling at school so much. So at school I felt pretty useless. The music teacher told me not to let noise come out of my mouth. She was also the French teacher and in charge of drama at school. So that wasn't great. That didn't help when it came to plays, singing or French lessons. So I stayed mute for many, many years. And actually that had a massive impact on me as a person. And I think because I didn't have a particularly happy childhood at home, sometimes it was great, but sometimes it was pretty terrible too. And my brother is very academic. He's a scholar. He has a wonderful singing voice. He's a linguist. And I felt pretty worthless, to be perfectly honest. And so my self-esteem was non-existent. And my confidence was, again, non-existent. Pretty much the only thing that I was good at and excelled at was riding. And when I was 14, I was told I had to stop doing that, which is when I took up side saddle, which actually that gave me a new lease of life because it was something that I was good at and something that I was passionate about. And dressmaking as well was something I was passionate about, and I made a lot of dresses and people said that I was good. So that did help a little bit with my confidence. And then I changed school for my A-levels, and that was a huge turning point for me because I went from feeling pretty worthless, pretty useless, and they were really good at encouraging you to do the things that you enjoyed and that you thrived and flourished at. And for me, that was design, particularly fashion design. They let me organise fashion shows at school, and also the CCF because there's a big tomboy side of me. So that was something that that gave me a new lease of life and really made me flourish. And for the first time in my life, I felt, that I could do something and I was good at something, and I was made a prefect and head of chapel, and those things were great. But then university was a bit of a disaster. Various things happened, and I ended up going and doing a secretarial in London, and actually, to be perfectly honest, I was probably the worst secretary out there. Seriously dyslexic. My shorthand was terrible. My typing was even worse. Excel spreadsheets, oh my God, they still to this day send my eyes like, oh my God, I hate them. So I was a terrible secretary. And we'll fast track a little bit further forward, but basically my boss, my last proper boss, my proper job in London, or the last proper job I had in London before marrying Simon, it's actually where I met Simon, he employed me because he felt sorry for me, because this timid mouse-like person came in that was a bit too scared to say boo to a goose, and he took a chance on me. And actually that was amazing. I loved that job. Working in property in Chelsea, I had great clients, and that really helped my self-esteem. And then marrying and having a really loving, supportive husband that gave me the confidence and said that was delicious, or darling, that was super. And just those little things helped slowly build up my confidence. So So let's fast forward now to me starting Ask Charlie. So my initial idea was to teach au pairs how to be au pairs. And then when I did quite a lot of research into that and how it would look, it was a terrible business model and it wasn't going to work. And that is when I was introduced to Tish, and Tish still works for me since then. She's been beside me, rooting for me, and actually really helping. Like, she believed in me far more than I believed in me. And she said, Charlie, you need to get onto YouTube. Well, I didn't even, because we're out in the middle of nowhere, in the sticks, we didn't have a good internet. I couldn't watch YouTube videos. I didn't read blogs because I'm terrible at reading. So why would I sit down and read something on the computer? Because I positively hate computers. So I just didn't know about the world of blogging, about YouTube, any of that jazz. But Tish sat down with me and we brainstormed how this was going to look. And basically the first video that I watched on YouTube was mine, and it was pretty terrible. It's still up there, you can go and watch it. I was so scared. I was so scared that I actually felt sick, but I did it. And I did a few things that led up to me sitting down and doing this. So I think one of the first things that happened was when I told Simon the idea. He said, oh, darling, and he didn't say it in a nasty way. He said, oh, darling, I think this is going to be another failed business attempt. Well, that was enough of a, I'm going to prove you wrong. I can blooming well do this. So that, thank you, darling, enormously gave me the kick up the backside to put my brave pants on and to blooming do it. And sometimes you need that somebody to say something for you to say, no, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to do this. And then I was recommended to listen to or read Mel Robbins' book. I listened to it on Audible because I don't like reading and I'm terrible at it. So I listened to Mel talking, and it was the 5-second rule. And I'm going to leave it linked down below because it was a complete and utter game changer for me. And I've often talked about this. So Mel was like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it. Don't think about it, just do it. Do it, do it, do it. And my husband's father wrote the music for the Thunderbirds. And so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it's been a big part of our married life. I stood at the altar, having just signed the register to marry Simon. We stood there hand in hand, and the music of the Thunderbirds started. We actually had it rearranged for our wedding, and it started with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The music started and we walked down the aisle and left the church, and that is a moment that will stay with me forever. So I think that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and Mel's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 was enough of a kind of, come on Charlie, we can do this, just do it. And things had been really tough for Simon and I. Financially, Simon's business was going through a really turbulent time, and so I needed this to work. I wasn't in a position with 3 young children, and was I doing the B&B then? Yes, I was doing the B&B then, and Mummy had died, so I was doing the holiday lets. I couldn't really go and retrain and study, A, because I couldn't afford the course to do it, and the childcare wasn't an option. So I had to give this thing a real go, and so that was quite a lot of pressure, to be perfectly honest. And I listened to lots of things to help my mindset, like audiobooks, but Mel Robbins was really the one that did it for me and that really helped change my mindset. And then being brave and going to some Instagram courses really helped step outside my comfort zone. So I did Beth Goodrum's, and I'm still in touch with Beth today, which is so lovely. I did Beth Goodrum's Instagram course, probably 5 years ago. And then Tia, my darling friend Tia Tallulah, had a course at her house, and I felt so sick and scared driving there. I was completely a duck out of water. But do you know what? That day really, really changed things for me massively. I met this gorgeous person, a room full of gorgeous, supportive, lovely women who were all doing the same kind of thing and trying to, you know, figure out how Instagram worked. I didn't even understand hashtag, algorithms, all that jazz. It was just not my world. Somebody told me with my previous business, Sleepy Cozy, that I needed to get on Instagram. I was like, oh no, please, I really don't want to do that. I hate that kind of stuff. I hated Facebook. I was like so late to Facebook and all those things. It was not my bag whatsoever. So for me, this was really stepping totally out of my comfort zone, but slowly, you know, baby steps and meeting kind of lovely people and just getting braver and I've got a core of really lovely, supportive friends that get and understand the reason why I'm doing what I do. There's a lot of friends that don't and that haven't been supportive, and you know, will watch all my Instagram stories, will watch videos, and they never reach out and say, well done, Charlie, and supportive. And that was really, really hurtful. But to me, just having that core of cheerleaders supporting me, holding my hand and saying, come on, you can do this, we're behind you, has been mega. Having Tish walk alongside me, you know, step by step, and having, Simon to begin with wasn't very supportive, if I'm perfectly honest. I think ask Charlie in doing what I was doing was actually a massive inconvenience because it meant I was too busy to do all the stuff that I had done before. And there was a little turbulent time as we adjusted and we navigated, you know, how things change. Relationships evolve, the dynamics shift, and when the children were at school more, it meant that I had more time to work, not necessarily more time to keep house anymore because I had this business that I wanted to do. So it's been baby steps, but I think knowing that I am helping some people, knowing that I get lovely feedback, knowing that I have a lovely supportive community is so helpful. And I think you can completely change your mindset. You can reinvent yourself. And it's so funny how things happen, because this morning I was listening to a podcast episode and I find this world just mind-blowing. Like, I looked at this episode and thought, oh, do I really want to listen to this? Do I need this? Is this going to help me at all today? Sort of thing. I looked at like, not sure I want to listen to this one. And I find when I think that, it's actually an episode that I need to hear more than ever, and that it completely and utterly resonates. And it's happened more than a handful of times. And I'll listen to something on mindset or to do with money or to do with whatever it is. And today was about reinvention, and it's Dr. Tara's podcast, Reinvent Yourself. I'm sure it's called Reinvent Yourself. I'm just going to check. Sorry, I doubted myself for a moment there. Yes, Dr. Tara, Reinvent Yourself. And it was about reinventing yourself, and it completely resonated with me. It was with somebody called Mallory Irvine, who used to be like Miss Kentucky, and I thought, oh, you know, this episode is probably not really going to resonate, but I'll listen to it anyway while I'm doing the horses. And it really resonated on so many levels. And this is something that I didn't think I would talk about, recording this particular one about my confidence. And I've had so many people over the years ask me to sit down and talk to them about how I have, you know, had the confidence to do what I do. And listening to this episode this morning made me realise that actually a lot of it is to do with my faith and And I don't talk about religion very often because I'm very private about my religion and my beliefs. And I know why I'm very private about them, because of various things that have happened in my childhood that I prefer to have my beliefs, my spirituality, my faith, my religion in a very private way. And that's why I don't talk about it very often. But my faith is really, really strong. And I do pray a lot. I pray an awful lot. And that has given me so much confidence. It has held my hand through some really scary personal moments. And often I'll find myself saying, come on, we can do this. And I will say a prayer and I will say, God, give me the strength, give me the courage to do this. Or God, help me navigate this situation in the best possible way that I can. And I find myself doing that an awful lot. And whether you are religious or not, I don't know whether this will resonate, but I feel that there is a huge higher power. I do believe in reincarnation. I do believe in spirituality. I do believe in a lot of stuff. And I think I'm struggling to get my words out because it's not something that I often talk about, and it is very private to me. But that episode, listening to Dr. Tara and Mallory talking about faith and about religion, made me reflect on the fact that actually my faith has given me the confidence and held my hand through things that I have found really difficult to navigate. Like, I get so scared reaching out to a brand. I get so scared sending an email, even today. And actually there's some things, like this year is my year where I want to be braver. I want to be stronger, I want to be braver, and I want to step outside of some of those comfort zones. So I'm fine, like vlogging, I'm fine sitting down and chatting to you guys, but I'm not very good at putting myself out there and like selling myself to brands, to companies, to people that I want to work with. I'm useless. I wait for people to come to me because I'm too scared. So, you know, it is a constant thing. I'm constantly having to work on my mindset. And that's what this episode in the podcast today was so interesting. It's about, you know, constantly reinventing yourself and having the courage to reinvent yourself. And I think we can make changes. And Dr. Tara talks a lot about neuroplasticities and how you can make shifts in your head. And I was that timid girl who was scared to say boo to a goose, that would never have dreamed that I would have a podcast, that I would have a YouTube channel, that I would do Instagram and TikTok videos and, you know, things like that. And I've also got to the stage, and I think maybe it's age, where I just don't really give a monkeys anymore about what people think. Like, I know what is important to me. I know my values. I know my beliefs. I know my morals. And if people don't like it, then that's fine. They can go and watch somebody else. I don't mind. It's okay. I know I won't be everybody's cup of tea, but if I am happy in myself and I have a clear conscience that I'm doing the right things and I'm a good person and I'm not trying to tread on somebody else's shoes and all of that stuff, I can do it, and I can not worry about what other people think, I think is what I'm getting at. Like, I know that I'm true to myself, and the rest of them can, you know, whatever. You can fill in the blanks. I don't want to say bad words, but that is how I have changed my mindset. That is how I have helped with my confidence. And I think also working with a business coach is a really great idea. I had a business coach. She was really, really awesome. And very, very, very tragically, she developed cancer and died, which was really tough. And I will at some stage find somebody else to fill her shoes. And that was a few years ago that sadly she died. But you do need somebody that, particularly when you're working on your own, that will be your cheerleader and that will support you and help you, and you can bounce ideas off and you can chat to them and they will give you the confidence. And there have been a few people along the way that have been quite negative about what I was doing, and I've actually had to step away from that because I found it really hurtful that every time I spoke to them they would say something not very kind, not very supportive and not very encouraging, and that was really hurtful, and that made me question myself enormously. And I think when you are struggling with your confidence and you've got people in a negative place around you, yes, I am open to criticism, totally. If people want to give me constructive criticism and help from a positive, kind way, then I am all ears. But when you are just hearing negativity and it's not positive encouragement and it's not constructive, and you come off the phone or having seen them feeling really questioning stuff, and then I would chat it through with somebody and they'd be like, no, Charlie, no, you need to step away. And I think it's hard because I was brought up to treat other people as you would like to be treated, to be kind and thoughtful to others. You know, that was really instilled in my brother and I from a really young age. And actually the world of you know, people are competitive, people can be unkind, people can be thoughtless, people can be hurtful, people can just want to be your friend because of, you know, where it might lead for them. And that is an interesting place to navigate. So it has been an interesting journey, and I know it's going to continue to be an interesting journey, but I hope me sitting down and chatting to you today about how I have helped my confidence, and I think, you know, my main thing is my faith and my belief and praying, and also having vision boards. So that is something that my business coach was really keen for me to do, and that is something that I have continued to do, and I find that really helpful, and it's a really good way for me to get my ideas and where I want to go down onto a board. So I think that those things, and Mel Robbins, just that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So when I'm standing there umming and ahhing, feeling a bit scared, I just remember and feel like I've got Mel in my head saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it, come on, do it. I'm often saying do it, like that Nike slogan, just do it, come on. So on that note, I'm gonna bid you au revoir until Friday's vlog. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode, and if there are other things like this that you would like me to chat about, I have had questions about talking about tech and how I navigate tech with the family, so that will be coming, and also relationships with family members and how to navigate tricky relationships. So that is something else that I'm going to be talking about as well, up and coming. But if there are things that you would like, leave them down in the comments below, and I will do my best to chat to you about them and how I have navigated them, or how I have got help to navigate them in the right way. Anyway, lots of love, and thanks so much for tuning in today.